The bourse is down again today. Take us through what happened on the bourse and the movement that's taking place.
Well, as you said, the bourse is down again today. The downward trend continued from yesterday. I've always said this thing, the market is just volatile right now and really has no direction. We've seen 3 days of gain last week and a lot of them being eroded again this week. So I think likely, it's a case of profit taking. Apart from profit-taking activities, the supply overhang that's due from the margin loan related equities that's really flooding the market. So there's a lot of sell-off out there, supply overhang ready to be dumped in the market for every appreciation you get. So likely, it's the volatile trend that we've had over the past few months.
Yeah, which is such a pity, Babatunde, because last week we saw that confidence was returning to the market. The bourse is showing some steady gains. Do you see that scenario coming back to the market sometime soon this week?
Yeah, as I said earlier, it will continue seeing this optimism coming from few days of gain, but the supply is still there, as I said. Which will obviously, trigger another sell-off. And so for every appreciation you have obviously investors that are ready to take profit out of that. So, and that's what you've seen in the market today. And the banking sector under pressure again today, and as they account for about 55% of the total market capitalization, you saw that, affecting the market adversely today. That's why you declined 0.86%.
Well, Fidelity Bank came out with results. Its pre-tax profit has dropped about 77%. What should the bank be doing to pick up its profit margins?
Really, for Fidelity, the revenue grew strongly in line with its risk asset growth. It was about 69% growth in revenues to about 72 billion. But due to huge provisions of about 20 billion, for risk asset, you had a slump in profitability. So I think that's just one-off, really. I don't expect as such of a huge provision for the bank going forward. It was a fallout of the CBN cleanup exercise in the banking industry, and we've had the same thing happen across board for the banking industry. Fidelity is one of the banks that scaled the CBN audit exercise, even though it had huge provisions, and obviously paid out all these earnings as dividend, 50 kobo dividend. It declared a 50 kobo dividend, which is about 2% dividend yield. Nothing to jump up about, but really it just shows that it was able to churn out a little profit. And I think going forward, we'll see a surge in profitability from this level. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't expect sort of huge provision to continue for Fidelity in the near term.
Well, how is Fidelity Bank faring against other banks in Nigeria?
Well, Fidelity is a mid-tier bank, really not as big as you have in the banks in the top tier. Fidelity has a lot of capital. That's one thing I must say clearly. About 40% capital adequacy, which I think they can do a lot more business with. Really, if you think about that, they can grow their assets, from that. But I don't see Fidelity really well positioned to really grow its asset to the level I see the top tier banks in the near term. But having said that, I think it can continue growing his revenue, growing his asset at a moderate level, and I see its current valuation right now as very cheap, as an extremely cheap. If you think about it, it's been beaten severely. It's trading at about 0.55 times its book value, and I think that's too cheap for any Nigerian bank, if I must say.